So recently I was going through all my old Commander decks and I realized that I don't really have many decks I like playing anymore. Most of the time I'll build a deck, I'll play for a couple months, or I'll build it for a video or something like that. And then a couple months later, I'll just deconstruct it. And then they just end up in this giant pile of top loaders with all these beautiful cards I'll never get to play again. Over the last few years, I've really built a wide range of decks from all different power levels, all different colors. But really the only ones that stuck are like the colors that I like, I really like. Like I've never like forced myself to play things outside of like black, white, or red for some reason. Now, because I haven't built a deck in such a long time and I've got the whole day off today, all I wanted to do was sit down, go through all my bulk and all my binders, find a commander that I liked, and then built it just with all the cards I had lying around. Now, that sounded like a pretty good way to waste the whole day, so that's what we're gonna do. Before we get into this video, I've got to remind you, I have a Discord now. You can join my Discord, come chat some shit, show me your decks, and we'll talk about whatever you want. Also, I'm a Palms Off Gaming affiliate, so if you want to buy anything from Palms Off Gaming, it's 10% off if you use my link in the description. I love those guys over there. They're really awesome. I love their products, and it's pretty much all I use these days, so definitely check them out. Alright, I'm pretty sure this is all the bulk, plus my binder where we'll find a commander. Fuck me. This could be cool. Rel, Moonsage Scion. I'm fucking like, this isn't focused. I know it's not focused. Focus. I'm fucking coming over there. He's a flip like planeswalker, and I've got a pretty cool one in like race foil or some shit. So maybe this is the go. Okay, so what I've done is I've gone through my entire nice fancy smashy binder. Thank you, Palms Off Gaming. And I've plucked out pretty much every single card I want to put in Rel. Focus up for me. Shoo. So I've never really built an Izzet spell slinger sort of deck before. I'm not really sure how Rel wins yet, but I just picked out everything. I was like, oh yeah, that's an Izzet card. And yeah, I just went from there. So let me show you what we've got. The first collection of red cards I chose from, I got like Flare Duplication because I thought copying instants and sorceries is just good. This weird Final Fantasy card, which is kind of like a half wheel, half board wipe thing. That was cool. Grape Shot, I had to have Grape Shot no matter what. That was a guarantee. A Braid, Wheel of Misfortune that's been sitting in my binder for way too long. I need to put this in a deck. And a Faith of Suiting, which I got in Japan, which is very, very cool. Now, as for the blue cards, there was a bunch more that I got because I never play blue. So, Born Upon a Win I had to use. High Fate Trickster, I think that was really good. Mindbreak Trap, I don't know if this is a good one or not, but Mindbreak Trap might be cool, I guess. Counterspell, offer you can't refuse. This River Regent, I don't know if this is a good card or not, but I'm interested to see how Omen works in this deck. Gandalf, I don't really think this is a great one, but I think it's really funny to cast sorceries at instant speed. Brainstorm, classic. Sphinx of the Forgotten Lore, this is an interesting card. It says when this creature attacks, you can target instant sorcery in your graveyard and it basically has flashback, which is cool. Counterspell, and Font of Magic, which I'm interested to see how it goes in a deck. For the like multicolored stuff, I think Stella Lee might be a good add for this deck, so we added her. Rel, the other Rel, I thought Rel was cool, so I thought I'd just have to add another one, why not? And I've also got the 3 like main Niv Mizzets, which were just sitting in a binder, so they care all about pinging people for damage and drawing cards, so that sounds like pretty much an Izzet thing anyway, right? That's pretty much what Izzet people do. I also plucked out some like random stuff, Sol Ring, a Thought Vessel, a Dragon Rage Channeler, which I thought was pretty cool, and some like MDFCs. I think Sink into Stupor is an obvious one, but I really like Sundering Eruption because all my fucking friends play Cabal Coffers, so that was just like a no-brainer ad for me. So yeah, I think out of all like the binder cards I had, they were probably the best ones that they had for Rel, but I'm interested to see what's lying around in bulk because I have fucking horrible organization skills. So I'm sure there's just something just good lying around. So I am keen to see how this goes. we're about 30 minutes into searching a bunch of shit, and I actually have a pretty big pile of cards. Just a bunch of shit. So, oh, there goes one. But I found a lot of like, is it stuff which I'm pretty happy with, but I don't know how synergistic it's gonna be, or if it's just gonna be like a, oh, I cast is it spells, and you know, and now I'm copying them, and now I'm fucking, you know, just being annoying. All right, now this part of the deck building process is definitely the longest part. I've got all these giant pile of cards that I think would be good with the commander. And what I like to do is I put my commander around the middle, I get the card that I want to put into the deck, and I read it and I go, okay, how does this work with the commander? How does it work with what I want to do in the deck? And if it's good, like 100%, like this does exactly what I want to do, it's good. If it's a, I'm not really sure, it's in the maybe pile, and it's like, and then otherwise it's like, oh, why is this card in the deck? I don't know. This just looked kind of cool, goes out. Because I really like looking for synergy here. So that's what we're gonna go for. The biggest concern I already have now is the main part of his ability is that you want to cast instant sorceries during your turn. And if you do, you flip the coin. Do you have a choice to flip the coin? You don't have a choice to flip the coin, but you do have a choice to transform him. And so the idea is you want to transform him when you've casted a bunch of instants and sorceries, because he says he enters the battlefield with additional loyalty counter on him for each instant sorcery you've cast this turn. So that being in mind, I don't really want to fill it with like counter spells. Counter spells don't, like, obviously they're good like things to control the board with, but counter spells don't really play into Rel's strategy, which is casting things on your turn. So obviously this deck is gonna have counter spells, but not any more than like, I can't imagine it's gonna have any more than like 5. I also should say that I have a secret collection of cards. These cards are not for sale, is the best way to put it. These are my proxies, if you can see all these. So I'm gonna go through here and find proxies that I like as well, and then probably add them to the deck. Like Ancient Tomb, yeah, we might add an Ancient Tomb, we'll see how we go. And then we'll see if we can really up the power level to something that I like. Not too high, but something that maybe is a little more competitive and interesting for like the type of decks that I like to play. All right, it's the end of the day. Let me show you the deck with all the cards I had lying around, and we'll go through it one by one, and I'll explain my thought process to why I've added some of these cards into the deck. So just a quick reminder on Rel, he says instants and sorceries cost 1 less. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery on your turn, you flip a coin. If you lose the flip, you take damage. If you win the flip, you can transform him. On the other side is this guy. Basically, he enters with additional loyalty counters for each instant sorcery you've cast on your turn. For +1, instant sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less, which is basically static ability on this side. Next, it says that you can do 2 damage divided amongst 1 or 2 targets, and you draw a card if you control another blue permanent, which is pretty cool. And finally, for his ultimate ability, you can exile the top 8 cards of your library and cast all the instants and sorceries for free. So really, the main part about this is you start him on this side, you cast 5 instants and sorceries on your turn, then you flip him, and then you ultimate right away. That's pretty much the goal. Now, firstly, I want to show you a Planeswalker that I added. This is Chandra Home Beacon. She's pretty good. She allows you to copy instants and sorceries once each turn. She also makes you mana so you can keep casting spells, and she just cares all about doing that sort of stuff. So I thought she was really, really good for that. Moving on to the creatures in no particular order. I'll start with Niv Mizzet. He was just like an overall powerhouse, a really good way. I've got quite a few wheels in this deck, so he was a really good way to win the game there. Simian Spirit Guide is really good because you can play your commander on turn 1, and Consecrated Sphinx means you're basically destroying cards forever. This is one of our ways we actually win the game. So what's his name again? Fucking Ovika. Ovika basically says that anytime you cast it on a creature, you make tokens, and with the tokens you can spin out. They work haste. That's pretty cool. This is Crackling Spellslinger. She's really good at just copying or giving something storm, which is really fun. More stuff about copying spells,
copying spells again on Stellar Lee, reducing the casting cost of instants and sorceries, so you can cast more things on a turn is really good. Copying spells on Gandalf, and he's just like an overall powerhouse. That was in my deck. Sphinx of the Forgotten Lore. I played this one in another deck, and I really, really like it. It allows you to cast something from flashback in your graveyard, so you can just get way more valuable from the spells that you are casting. This is Vrayan. I'm pretty sure they copy spells as well. Dragon Rage Channeler. I just really love this card. I think having the ability to surveil every time you cast it on creatures is just really powerful. We've got this Dragon from Tarkia, which basically has an instant sorcery attached to it, and then you can play it later to have a big beater on the board. Very Mastermind. We're drawing more cards. Goblin Electromancer, reducing the costs again, and we're back to Niv Mizzet. So everything here is just pretty well-rounded, pretty interesting, and I really liked the synergies and the stuff that those cards provided. Now, as for the sorceries, Expressive Iteration is a really good one, just to allow you to play more cards on your turn. Cosmic Epiphany, I don't know how great this card's going to be. 6 mana is a lot, so I guess we'll find out the value when we do play it. Wheel of Fortune, another wheel. Disrupt Decorum, this is a pet card of mine. I don't think it's amazing, but it's really, really fun. Basically, you go to all creatures you don't control. It's that simple. Obviously, this deck doesn't have a lot of creatures, and the creatures you do have aren't really attackers or defenders, so being able to stall a turn by goading everything is really cool. Jessica's Will, don't need to explain that. Sleight of Hand, just more ways to do things on your turn to cast storm stuff. This thing from Final Fantasy, I thought this was okay. It basically can draw you cards when you flashback it later. It's also a board wipe. The interesting part is dealing damage to creatures is really good once you flip Rel, because Rel is no longer a creature, he's a planeswalker. So I thought maybe this could be okay. I had to add Stitch in Time. There's no way I wasn't playing Stitch in Time. This is just one of the coolest cards ever made. Another wheel. Tezzerous Gamble's interesting. I like that you can draw cards with it, and the ability to proliferate might be really helpful once you do flip Rel to his planeswalker side, which was my thinking, so I guess we'll give that one a go. Grape Shot, that's one of our ways we win the game. And we've got Epic Experiment. Epic Experiment is just another way to keep things going on your turn, given you have the mana. Preordain, same thing, and we're back to Expressive Iteration. For the instants, I'm not too happy with all the instants I have in this deck, to be honest, but they're just like staples. They're not really like synergistic to what I really want to be doing, but Fierce Guardianship's pretty good. Opt is great. Faith of Suiting, this is my favorite Faith of Suiting ever, and I got this one in Japan. Shout out Japan. What else have we got? Prismari's Command. A lot of the instances of sorceries do have allow you to just do things. They're really toolboxy. This one I like because you can make a treasure token, so really you're only like paying one, or you're paying two, then you're getting refunded one, so that's good to cast another spell. Brainstorm's great for that as well. This card, I just needed another card, and it's also an MDFC, so can't complain there. Flare of Duplication, Flusterstorm, Fact or Fiction, one of the best commander cards of all time. Force of Negation, Galvanic Iteration, this allows you to copy spells, which is really good. Abrade, so you can destroy people's soul rings, fuck them. Sink into Stupor, Born Upon a Wind, cast things at instant speed. Deflecting Swap, because your commander will be out so early. Mental Misstep, another free spell. Unexpected Windfall, this is what I'm talking about when I say cards in the deck need to be like this. So you pay 4 for it, you draw 2, you make 2 treasure tokens, you then use the 2 treasure tokens to cast more spells, and you get more things going on. It's really, really good for that. Is It Charmed? Just another toolboxy card just to do whatever you want. This is one of the half and half cards. You can copy spells or deal damage. The deal damage one, you need so much mana, but I think, yeah, it also draws you cards. Another counter spell, an offer you can't refuse. Cyclonic Rift, because that's really the only main board wipe I have in the deck, I guess. At least the main consistent board wipe. And yeah, we're back to the start. So yeah, maybe I am happy with them looking back on them now, but that's where we got up to. As for the artifacts, the One Ring, gotta have the One Ring. Is It Charm, or is it Signet, because I don't have the other one. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Ruby Charm. I don't love medallions in multicolored decks. However, Rel is red, and so I thought, why not? Lotus Petal will get your commander out on turn 1, Falwar Stone, and a really cool signed Thor Vessel. Finally, for the enchantments, there's only a couple here, but basically they're the most generic of generic cards ever. Rhystic Study, Mystic Remora, Counterbalance, because I think Counterbalance is really fun. Font of Magic. This one is interesting. Instants and sorceries cost 1 less for each time you cast your commander from the command zone. So I thought maybe this could get a bit of value. And then Prof's Eidetic Memory. Oh, Prof's... Yeah, that's it. I said it right the first time. Enters, draws your card, you have no maximum hand size, and it pumps your creatures. The pumping isn't really great, but like a lot of the creatures I do have are flying, so they're not bad. As for the lands, I'm not going to go through them. They're just very basic lands. I'll have the deck list in the description, but there's nothing special in here. Like nothing, I guess Ottawa is alright, but like nothing too crazy. Hello, so yesterday we finished the deck. It was pretty much put together, all 100 cards, 37 lands. There was a lot of basics, but you know, it did the job. And today is the day to play test the actual deck. So I was going to a Christmas party. This when I'm recording this video. Who knows when this is coming out? But I went to a Christmas party and I got to play a couple games. And honestly, I was thoroughly impressed. What I did realize is that there were really two main ways to win with the deck. There was obviously like your Storm, Grape Shoddy type stuff. And then there was like your card draw, wheel, and pingers, which I actually thought was really fun as well. Now, in my first game, I found a line that I thought I could win using Ovika. Let's see, that's going to focus. That you're not going to be able to see that. Ovika, I'll put it up here. Enigma Goliath. And I was casting a bunch of instant sorceries, and I thought, I'm just going to make a bunch of creatures, and I'll swing out. One thing I made a mistake on is I thought they were flying, the creatures. They're not flying, they're just little goblins. So that was kind of annoying. But another problem was that one of my opponents had this dinosaur that pretty much said that anytime a creature entered the battlefield, I would take 1 damage. And I knew I was going to lose on my next turn, so I full sent it, and I flew way too close to the sun because I don't know what I remember doing now, but I flew too close to the sun and I killed myself. So game 1 with the deck for the first time ever and I killed myself. Awesome, great work there. However, the second game was really good. I was able to storm off with Grape Shot, and I ended up playing a card. I think it's in here somewhere. Crackling Spellslinger. You're not going to focus, are you? Well, fuck you. Either way, Crackling Spellslinger says that when it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, the next instant sorcery you cast is Storm. So I had like a fuck ton of Storm spells all at once. It was really, really cool, really, really fun. And yeah, I really like the deck. I definitely think I'm probably going to end up buying some upgrades for it that mean that they're more relevant, I guess, to the deck. Like one thing that the deck definitely wants to do is keep going on your turn, and the only way to do that is to cast things that allow you to keep going. Like, you know, a spell that's like, oh, cost 1 red, make a treasure token, that's all it does, but now your storm counts 1. Or stuff that's like Mana Geyser that makes more red mana so you can cast more spells and stuff like that. So I think I definitely need more things that can keep my deck going. But my hand was always full. I was always drawing cards. It was fun to wheel, and Rail was just helpful. So yeah, I was really, really impressed. Hello, it's Editing Casa now. I did not record the outro on my last recording, so I'm doing it now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. Let me know what you think. And if you like this more unscripted form of stuff, it's way longer, it's way more waffly, so I don't think I'll do too many of these, especially if people don't like them. But let me know what you think, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.